Hello everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Sports and Shit, where we talk about sports and shit. Thank you very much for tuning in if you did, and if you are new to the channel, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share. What we're trying to do here on Sports and Shit, we're just do some good. Raise some money for charity, and that brings me to remind you all, our charity for the month of May is the American Cancer Society. The link to that is going to be down in the comments below. It'll take you straight to their website, and you can go donate however much you please. Now, with that being said, let's get into this week's show. In news for the NFL, the schedule releases this week. That's it. I'm sorry. That's all there is for NFL news. I'm looking forward to the schedule release, though. Bills probably might get a couple primetime games like they have been these last couple years, so that'll be nice. I'm sorry. That's it for NFL news. In news for baseball, Aaron Judge has been activated by the Yankees after missing 10 games due to an injury, so it's good to see that Aaron Judge is going to be back on the field for the Yankees. Looking forward to seeing him play some b-ball and... b-ball? No, that's for basketball. Baseball. Sorry. Blue Jays start their series tonight against Philly. Hoping, they win this series as they did against the Pirates this past week. Absolutely just made them look stupid. Well, the Pirates make themselves look stupid in their own respect. So, yeah. In other sports news, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend, and May won the 149th official Kentucky Derby, so good job on the horse May and all the people that bet on May to win and won big stupid money. Good for them. Also at the Kentucky Derby, Josh Allen was there. Look at that. Look at the fucking fit. Look at Josh Allen. Iced out. Dripped out. He is fucking him. God damn it. I need it to be September already so I can watch that man throw a fucking football because I miss him. The Gamblers beat the Stars 41-16. The Showboats beat the Panthers 29-10. They picked up their first win of the year. Good for them. The Breakers beat the Generals 22-17. And the Stallions beat the Maulers 24-20. There's no game news in XFL because the championship game is this weekend, though. But, as I was talking about last week, there have been more players that have been signed and been asked to come to NFL mini and training camps by some teams. I'm going to go through the list of those players that have been added on than when I started talking about last week. So, stick with me here because it's a lot. So, from XFL to NFL, those players are going to be linebacker Trent Harris to the Broncos, center Alex Mullet to the Seahawks, tackle Chidi Okiki to the Steelers, running back Jack Patrick to the Broncos, guard Jack Snyder to the Dolphins and Ravens, tight end Cam Sutton is going to the Falcons, tight end Jordan Thomas to the Panthers, tackle Barry Wesley to the Falcons, wide receiver Darius Shepard to the Lions, tackle Sage Dox Tater to the Saints, running back Matteo Durant to the Jets, quarterback Harrison Frost to the Saints, D-line Jack Heflin to the Saints, wide receiver John T. Kirkland to the Giants, wide receiver Austin Prohl to the Panthers and Eagles, safety Nate Metters to the Bills, wide receiver Jacor Pearson to the Colts and the Falcons, long snapper Alex Matheson to the Ravens, kicker John Parker Romo to the Lions, cornerback Antoine Brooks to the Bills, defensive lineman Matthew Gotel to the Falcons, center Michael Manette to the Falcons, quarterback Steven Montez to the 49ers, defensive end Freedom Akeem Moladan to the Chiefs, tackle Derek Kelly to the Panthers, guard Donovan West to the Panthers, Elijah Griffin to the Titans, guard Colin Kelly to the Saints, defensive end Elorm Lumore to the Jaguars. That was a lot. But congratulations to all those guys, and I hope they actually get their chance to shine in the NFL, so yay. And that's all the sports news from me I have to share, and I'm going to send it over to Max to finish the rest of the news for you guys. Max, take it away, bud.
What's up, everybody? I'm just going to jump right into the news today. First, we're going to be covering NBA. My name's Max. First up, we got the Lakers v. Warriors. Lakers are up 3-1 versus the Warriors. That small ball has not been working out for them very well. Most recently, the Lakers won 104-101 off of a late, I forget who it was some bench player by the Lakers. He scored a late three. Very clutch stuff. LeBron is actually undefeated when up 3-1, and the Warriors are 18-5 when trailing in the playoff series. So I'm very interested to see how the rest of this plays out. LeBron did make a comeback 3-1 versus the Warriors in the NBA Finals before. Maybe Curry does the same thing. I really don't know anymore with the NBA playoffs. It's been chaos. On Monday, the Philadelphia 76ers scored a victory 116-115 versus the Boston Celtics. In this series, James Harden last night, he dropped 42. He's been popping off recently. Joel Embiid, he had 30-some-odd points. Their dynamic duo in the 76ers offense is heating up at the exact right time right now, right in the midst of the playoffs. Maybe they can actually get over the hump this year. Joel Embiid, last night, he actually played like an MVP. The key to victory for this 76ers team is if he keeps playing that consistently. Who knows if he does that, though. 76ers and Boston Celtics are tied 2 apiece. Jimmy Butler's Miami Heat edged off, that sounded really bad, but edged off Jalen Brunson's Knicks as they've taken a 3-1 series lead after a 109-101 victory most recently. Jimmy Butler, this playoffs, I mean, there's a rumor going around that he's Michael Jordan's son. I might actually believe it because come playoff time, this man shows up every single year, no matter what team he's on. The Phoenix Suns most recently tied the series 2 apiece after a fantastic night from Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, their dynamic scoring duo. Both of them had 36 apiece, but the real interesting part from this game, and the narrative I'm getting, Nikola Jokic dropped 53, 4, and 11, and yet they still lost, even though Jamal Murray had 28, 29 points. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly. It just feels like no matter what Jokic does, he doesn't have a good enough supporting cast around him to really get anywhere, even though for the past few seasons he's had some of the highest player efficiency gradings of pretty much all time. But let's see if Jokic can right the ship. He also got fined $25,000 from pushing Suns owner Matt, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Ishbia, because a ball went into the stands, Jokic went to grab it, and he ended up putting a shoulder into the Phoenix Suns owner. So he wasn't even ejected from the game, though. You can't kick the owner out of the game, so the guy next to the owner got ejected, which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, oh, fuck, we have to punish somebody, which I honestly don't know the point behind that, but hey, just evict the random dude standing next to him. Why not? Next up, I'm just going to briefly go through the NHL, like the scores of all the series. First of all, we have the Carolina Hurricanes. They're up 2-1 versus the New Jersey Devils. Same thing with the Seattle Sea Dragons, Seattle Kraken over the Dallas Stars. I'm still not used to them having a hockey team. And the Las Vegas Golden Knights are up 2-1 over the Edmonton Oilers. Now, here's a funny thing. I literally said that the Florida Panthers, the Cardiac Kids, they were going to beat the Maple Leafs because that's their luck. They're up 3-1. If they lose 4-0, they're just going to have to burn the entire team. Just burn it to the freaking ground. And to round out the rest of my segment, we also have Backlash. I think it was a very, very, very good show. I think it surprised me genuinely. The crowd was white hot for the entire night. Starting off, a match that I kind of wrote off, to be honest, but it was one of the best matches of the night. It was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky for the Raw Women's Championship. This is a match that had several great false finishes. Io Sky's moonsault is probably one of the best I've ever seen. The crowd was just white hot for this match, even more so than a lot of the later matches. Big props to Io Sky and Bianca Belair, who I honestly wasn't very high on before, but she definitely won a lot of my respect with her performance. Next up, we had Seth Rollins versus Omos. Homo sapiens rise up, please don't be homophobic. So this match, I really had low hopes for, like really, really low hopes, but I'm not gonna lie. Omos and Seth Rollins kind of put on a banger, I'm not gonna lie. Started off quick because, the fans were doing Seth Rollins' theme where I was like, whoa, and Omos just jumps him from the very beginning. And he hit Omos at one point with like 2 curb stomps. That didn't put Omos away. And it ended up with Seth Rollins hitting a curb stomp from the top rope. This is probably almost his best match. I'm actually excited to see what he can do in the future because he's showing out and he's actually showing that he's willing to learn. Next up, we have the triple threat for the United States Championship. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed all going at it. This was a pretty fun match, I'm not going to lie. Started off with both the heels working on the babyface because, anytime there's 2 heels and a babyface, they beat each other up. And then the 2 heels can't work together and then the babyface comes back in. That's why I don't really like triple threats because they're all kind of predictable. But anyways, that's besides the point. Bronson Reed, I feel like the fans were really behind him in this match and he actually had a chance to showcase what he can do. Theory and Lashley both had really good performances. The match ended when I think Bobby Lashley hit a spear on Bronson Reed and then Austin Theory threw Lashley through the ropes and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory retains. I mean, Bronson Reed gave a really impressive performance. I was pretty happy with that match. I'm just wondering who beats Austin Theory now. Next up, which this is probably one of my least favorite matches of the night. No discredit to the people in this match, but Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think Rhea Ripley is incredible, the best woman worker in the entire business. At one point during this match, Zelina Vega, she threw a flip-flop at Rhea Ripley, and I don't know if that's something that has to do with like Hispanic or Puerto Rican culture, because the entire crowd, when she brought it up, they're all like, "Hey!" And I'm like, am I missing the joke here? But it was an alright match. Ended Rhea Ripley hitting Riptide 1, 2, 3. Pretty much about what you'd expect to happen. After the match, Zelina Vega, she got a standing ovation. It was pretty nice to see it. Next up was my personal match of the night. It was Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in a San Juan street fight. And this match may have been a little overbooked, but it was incredible because the whole like country of Puerto Rico is behind Bad Bunny. You know, they all listened to his music. When he was coming to the ring, they were all singing it. I mean, at one point, Dominic and Finn Balor came down to the ring to beat down on Bad Bunny. And then Rey Mysterio comes out, he gets beat down too. And Carlito comes back and he does a thing where he spits an apple in someone's face. That got a massive pop. I mean, it was super nice to see Carlito back in WWE, especially in Puerto Rico. He seemed so happy to be there. And then after that, when the Judgment Day was being chased off, the Latino World Order and Sario Vega ran them off. And then, of course, the match ended when Damian Priest got hit by Bad Bunny's Canadian Destroyer. I guess maybe it'd be a Puerto Rican Destroyer. Huh. Well, I mean, it was still like when guys aren't doing like 5 of them per match and you actually use it to win a match, like it was incredible. I didn't even know he could do a Canadian Destroyer. I mean, I watched it. I literally, I mean, you never expect these celebrities to really treat the business with respect, but Logan Paul and Bad Bunny have shown that they do that on a weekly basis anytime they're in the building. I mean, I just want to see more of them. I'm not going to lie. I mean, a lot of people don't like the celebrities. I do. Next up was Usos, Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. And out of all the matches that have ever been wrestled, this was one of them. I mean, it was all right. I mean, I kind of knew that it was going to end up Solo Sikoa. I think he hit a Samoan spike on Matt Riddle, 1, 2, 3. There is some interesting stuff going on, though, where Solo Sikoa, he was like hesitating to shake hands with the Usos. He almost Samoan spiked one of the Uso brothers. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell them apart. But I guess we're just going to wait and see if it's Solo Sikoa that ends up breaking up the bloodline, or maybe he evicts the Usos from the bloodline. I mean, that story's still alive, but it doesn't really feel the same with Sammy's not in the bloodline, you know? I am glad, though, that he has gold with Kevin Owens. I'm not going to lie. And for the main event of Backlash in Puerto Rico, we had Brock Lesnar, Bork Laser, versus Cody Rhodes, the Codester. And this was a pretty good match. I mean, the crowd was into it. It didn't last terribly long. It was like 10 minutes. There was a point where Brock was like charging Cody, and Cody like dived out of the way, and I don't know if he tripped him or like Brock was supposed to fall that way, but he hit a turnbuckle and he was just pouring and gushing blood. Like he was on Raw on Monday, and you could see Brock was all stitched up on multiple points of his face. But it was pretty hard fought by Cody. I mean, I saw on Raw last night that Brock Lesnar attacked Cody again, so it's clear that they want to prolong it a little bit and get him a path back to Roman Reigns in the championship, probably at SummerSlam. But this pay-per-view, though, blew away my expectations. I'd give Backlash like an 8 out of 10. When it comes to pay-per-views in the Triple H era for WWE, or premium live events, sorry, I can't stand that. Anyways, I mean, it's like all the specific phrasing with WWE. We're not wrestlers, we're sports entertainers. I hate it. I can't stand it. It makes my blood boil. Anyways, though, in this Triple H era, they've been on fire with their pay-per-views. I mean, the weekly TV shows have been kind of boring, but these pay-per-views, you know stuff's going down, and it's going to be electric. I love the atmosphere that these pay-per-views have been having. A lot of these matches, they have big fight feels, and I feel like that's what WWE's been missing, especially because these cards will have like 12 matches and stuff. It's too many. So I'm glad Triple H has changed that. One last thing, I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. Our charity of the month for the month of May is the American Cancer Society. Make sure to check them out. And as always, go Bills, go Sabres.
And that concludes this week's show. Thank you very much for tuning in. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share what we're trying to do here in Sports Shit. And go donate down in the comments below to the American Cancer Society. Please. Come on, guys. Let's do some good. With that being said, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.